Education doesn't always take place behind a desk in a classroom. That things like outdoor centres, visits to castles, museums, art galleries, libraries, where children can go out. That really is just amazing part of education, isn't it? It's not just, you know, filling up a few empty vessels with a few arid facts. So it's very important. So I've been talking to teachers today about really treasuring trips out of school, visiting places. Not all learning takes place behind a desk. A lot of learning can take place going out into the environment.
It gives them a chance to shine, a chance to conquer their fears. It's a fantastic lesson in self-belief that you don't get out of other aspects of the curriculum. Young people learn lessons that they can apply to virtually every aspect of their life, be it self-belief, leadership, decision-making, problem-solving, the courage to have a go at things in adversity, in adverse situations.
For me as a teacher, the aim of today was to encourage them to work together and overcome their fears and take some risks that normally they wouldn't get an opportunity to do.
I've really enjoyed today because at the beginning it was very nerve-wracking, but having confidence in other people as well as myself made me overcome the fear factor.
It was scary at first when we were going over the dip, but when you got halfway down it was alright and we had a lot of support from each other.
Some of the work within the uniform public service courses, which a lot of the students are on, it covers areas like discipline. So the fact that they've got to make the beds, they've got to get up at 6:45 and they've got to be where they're supposed to be on time. They've got to conform to rules and regulations within the army. Gives the students the experience of that rather than people, teachers like myself, just telling students this is what happens in the army, this is what the army do. The determination to overcome the challenge is sort of unbelievable really. You rarely see that in the classroom.
In the mornings we have to make our beds to the correct standard, otherwise they get torn apart. After about the third time I did it I was starting to get pretty annoyed with the fact that I wasn't doing it correctly, but you work on it and you take your past attempts forward and make it better.
You can just zone out in the class but you can't out here.
You're just thinking about what's happening right now and how you have to do something or how you have to deal with the situation.
I've learnt quite a lot from it, like team building and like character building, like confidence in yourself.
My kids don't always have the high expectations because they're from an area where university isn't the foremost, so they are just trying to do everything they can to get university, and we want to support them in that. They love going outside the classroom to sort of see how physics has its applications. With the extreme physics, they got to see it with other pupils, they got to engage with these other pupils, they're learning from them, they're learning from other physics teachers. With science you've got to be good at thinking of questions and thinking of a way to solve them. Mine are bouncing off each other. One comes up with the idea, the next one's doing it, they hear something from another group and they're going for it. They'll use everything around them, they're given the parameters of this is what you can do, and it's having that outside the box, outside what else is around them. It's bringing out their creativity of science.
You learn things from other pupils and not necessarily just from teachers, because other people have a different way of saying things and that may come across to you more.
We feel bushcraft's a valuable way of working young people.
We're looking deeper into nature, using nature to reinforce what the guys are learning in the classroom.
You start seeing their ability to problem solve, and you're doing it in a way it's touching where they want to be, it's interesting them, it's helping draw out these basic skills in a person. And over the years I've come across people who you realise have got real gifts. They're not things you go to college for, it might be even their ability to communicate with other people and work as a team. And it's something that you start to realise that they've got. The sort of person that might end up making a good mechanic is someone that can perhaps work around problems. And these things draw out that in an exciting way. But but the fundamental skill is that ability to solve problems. Well, how transferable can you get?
You can see the wow moment on the face when all of a sudden they, for instance, the fire triangle they've been learning in science comes into practical use, and then they have a sort of, all of a sudden it's like, oh wow, that's what we've been talking about. This is how it actually works when it comes together.
You've got to take some of those risks in life and be given the opportunity to be responsible in order to sort of then transfer that later in life, and it gives you the sort of responsibility throughout your education, for employment.
Life's all about risks. If you don't take them, you'll never achieve much.
Whether it be cognitive learning, physical learning, it's all there, whether it's in the classroom or outdoors. But the outdoors gives a little bit more scope than in the four walls. You're opening your own world, not just in sight, in hearing. That makes everything, it enhances the senses, and that, in my opinion, enhances the learning as well.
You might have never seen a side of yourself sat in a classroom than you would have when you're outdoors with no one taking control. You can find yourself.
You got to come out here and try it to believe it.
I think everyone should give them the opportunity to come out and try it, because after you've done it, it gives you the thrill that you've achieved that something you were scared of.
Don't be shy, give it a try, just try your new things.
Get yourself here!